Started.
What's up? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy AJ. Uh, I'm probably a familiar face now to some of y'all. Basically, I'm starting a boxing podcast. I've been a fan for boxing for a while. I boxed a little bit when I was young. Got into other sports. Still always had the passion for it. Came back. And with all this like controversy in the boxing world going on right now, I thought it was perfect time to come in and make my name on the scene as far as boxing pies and shit. So I got my boy Rel with me here today.
Yes, sir.
I mean, some of y'all may know Rel when y'all see this, because you know Rel from other pies and stuff. But yeah, y'all gonna be seeing Rel quite often. But me, my name is AJ, and yeah, welcome to the Uppercut Pod. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna break down into today, but I just want Rel to introduce himself a little bit if y'all don't know who Rel is.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? My name is Rel. Rel Vibes on Instagram, TikTok. Just another content creator. Been doing this for a few years now. Like you said, I got another sports podcast. It's called Man to Man Podcast. You could check us out there. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. But I'm excited, man. Boxing isn't one of those sports that's like, talked about by everyone. I feel like us coming together and making this shows like, okay, number one, we know what we talking about, but number two, like, it's gonna
Sure.
be a certain fan base that's gonna watch us for boxing, and we all know like people's gonna watch us, they know they boxing too.
Yeah,
So I think it's gonna be real fun. Like I'm a big
for
fan of
sure.
boxing. I got into it over the past like I would say I got into it heavy around like COVID time, but I always, watched the bigger fights. Like I was always watching, the Floyd fights growing up, Pacquiao, just the big names. But as I grown older, like did my history, did my research, and boxing it's a deep sport and it's really underrated. You
Yeah.
know,
And this is the tie in today, what you were saying earlier. I don't like talking boxing with a lot of people, bro. Cause like a lot of people are just outsiders. You know how it is, real. Like when you got someone that's coming out of nowhere or saying this and saying that, you like, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like a lot of people don't even know the behind the scenes or weight classes or styles or matchups. Like people don't really truly understand these things. All they know is names. And that's what sells fights, and that's what gets attention. People like Tank and Floyd and all these big names, but people don't really know about boxing. And y'all gonna gain a lot of information from us too, whether that's parlays, just watching it in general, or you want to just get an insight. Y'all gonna learn a lot from this pod, man. So y'all going to definitely stay tuned. We got a couple topics though for today.
before we hop into it, we got a few introductory questions just for them to get a feel of us. No homo, you feel me, of course, but who is your favorite boxer of all time, and tell us a little bit why.
My favorite boxer of all time. It's so many good boxers, bro.
It is. This is a
That's a
hard
crazy.
question.
That's
It's
like
a
a
loaded
crazy question.
question. Give me
Like
give me your top three because it's hard to reduce to just
I could
one.
go. I can go eras for you. I can go 70s, 80s,
Okay,
2000.
we'll
I'll do
both do
that.
that.
I'll
We'll
do
both
that
do
for
that.
you, bro. It's too many good fighters, bro. For the 70s, I would probably have to go. Uh, 70s is tough.
Golden era for heavyweights, man.
Yeah, it's like, but then you still had some lightweights. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know. 70s is a tough era.
You want to go like
I'm gonna go. I'm
me?
gonna go. Very underrated. Let's go. For the 70s. Aaron Pryor. I'm gonna go Aaron Pryor for the 70s.
Oh,
Aaron
okay.
Pryor Aaron Pryor got like his style, a lot of output, putting out a lot of punches. So I had to go Aaron Pryor for the 70s. For the 80s, Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, that self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard. You could also throw Roberto Duran in there. Very, very super under. He actually beat, Sugar Ray
Sugar
in
Ray,
their
of
first
course.
fight. So you could either
True,
one
you
of
could
them.
throw Duran in there for the '70s too. For real,
Yeah,
for
but
real.
Aaron Pryor's style though. I'm a style. I like styles. I
Okay.
respect accomplishments, but I like to watch exciting fights. So I'm gonna always go for an exciting fighter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not saying Roberto Duran isn't, but definitely Aaron Pryor style. I like his style.
No, I
Uh,
feel you.
so I'll go Aaron Pryor, Sugar Ray Leonard for the '90s. I'm gonna have to go Mike Tyson. This is Mike Tyson. I would have said like Lennox Lewis or Holyfield. Like it was a crazy heavyweight era in the '90s too. People.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
George Foreman, it's a lot of good fighters, but I would definitely have to go Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a crazy fighter. 2000s, good fighters.
Good fighters,
Oh,
crazy
because
fighters.
like I like Pretty Boy Floyd. I like Pretty Boy Floyd, and before Money Floyd, like I liked his style. Sit
Right,
down, break you
right.
down, beat you up. People don't know that about Floyd either. They just think he run. Little do they know, in that little era, that early 2000s era, like Floyd was breaking people down, bro. So I'm gonna go early Floyd on that. 2010s, I go Pacquiao. Just to switch it around a little, I'll go Pacquiao. And then currently, right now, my favorite fighter probably is, I don't know, boxing has changed so much.
No, this is gonna be a tough one for me.
Yeah, for right now, I probably had to go very underrated fighter, Raymond Ford. One of my favorite fighters right now. Raymond Ford, from Camden. I got to actually watch
Okay.
him live too at the boots fight.
Yeah.
He's sharp, bro. He's sharp.
Yeah.
Watch him in
I like
person.
him. I
Yeah,
like him a lot. Yo, that boost fight had to be crazy too. I
yeah,
ain't
bro.
gonna
It was rocking. Made that man quit on the stool.
lie.
And it's no better feeling than making somebody quit to unify after everybody saying this and that, and he get hit too much, or standing on it's gonna be too much. Goes in there and breaks him down. Man, beautiful boxing. But yeah, that's my little lineup. Aaron Pryor, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Floyd, Pacquiao, and then I'm gonna go Raymond Ford right now for my
Okay. For the 70s, it's pretty easy for me. My favorite fighter of all time, Muhammad Ali. Even
okay.
though you could argue, I think the 60s, which showed like he was the first of the heavyweights to, kind of show that slick movement styles. So when he came in the 60s, you could argue that was the best fighter I've ever seen. Like watching some of that footage, just the way he moved, arms don't gotta be up, fast
The
hands,
greatest. The greatest. Yeah,
And
it's a lot you can say,
70s,
but the
he
greatest.
wasn't even at his best, but he was still taking down some of the greatest of all time. So that's why I'm gonna go Muhammad Ali. The 80s, I really like the Sugar Ray Leonard John, but I'm gonna go Tommy Hearns. I feel like
Okay.
he's one of the most underrated fighters of all time, very underappreciated. I think
Good
no,
fighter.
no, he was actually winning in their first fight against Sugar Ray Leonard, until, Sugar Ray Leonard's coach, yo, you gotta step it up. You're losing it. What do you say? You're losing
Mm-hmm.
it.
You
And
losing it.
yep, you're losing it. He ends up knocking out Tommy in the 13th or 14th. That was one
Hey,
of the
that's
best
when they
fights.
used to
That's
go
one of my favorite
15.
fights. Yeah,
That's
that's
when
one
they
of my
used to
favorite
go
fights of
15,
all
bro.
time, bro.
That was like crazy. They used to go 15
Then
rounds. That was crazy.
Sugar Ray fought Tommy later on. They fought to a draw, and I'd argue that
He
Tommy
won
won
that
that
fight.
one. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
a lot of people say Tommy won that fight.
Tommy knocked out Duran. Like Tommy, he
Knocked him
lost.
out too.
He lost to Hagler, which I think is an all-time great. He's
Yeah, see,
super.
that's what I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, we
They
got
all
Hagler.
fought each other. Like that's the best era, bro. I
Yeah,
ain't
like
gonna lie.
those are the first four kings.
Yeah,
The first four kings, true kings.
I'm
Not
gonna
none of
go.
this stuff that's going on today. These people not kings not fighting each other. Like
Nah, yeah.
back in the day, all them four kings was fighting each other, bro. Boxing not
And it
this.
wasn't even just them four. You had some other dudes in the mix too who was getting involved. Like I don't know, that was just a crazy era. But for the
Sure.
'90s, for me, I'm gonna go with the most skilled fighter of all time, and Roy Jones Jr. I think that no
Yes.
one at middleweight, super middleweight, could beat Jones
Yeah.
during that era of all time. I don't think no
And
one
Jones actually he was
that.
fighting at middleweight. He would go up, he would come down, he would go up. He was all over the place.
I think, and that kind of was his downfall,
Yeah.
honestly. I think he went up to heavyweight. He beat Ruiz, but you can't just keep coming down. You're not gonna have the
Yeah.
same speed, especially in your 30s. You're not gonna have the same speed and
Yeah, it's
reflexes
affecting the
all
body.
that weight.
It's not
That
good.
affected him, and I feel like
Yeah.
it ended. He didn't have as long as a prime as he should have, but his first 10 years, I think, it was the greatest fighter of all. I'd argue.
Super like what's the word? Super unorthodox and raw
Hmm.
talent. Like
Yeah,
just like I feel like Rory was the definition when you got all the talent, but you also put all the work in, and it just come together because you got a lot of fighters that's just talented. You know what I'm saying? That don't put the work in, but they're just good because they're talented. But then you got a lot of fighters that's good because they put hard work in. They were just never talented. But then you got fighters like Roy Jones, who has the talent and also puts the hard work in which, you know, makes him shine over everyone, you know. And that's why he was so dominant.
Right, yeah. He was a dog.
Roy was tough.
2000s, man, that's gonna be the hardest one for me because it's like what era, what weight class I even go with. I don't want to go with Floyd again because you said that.
Floyd was great though, bro.
Floyd was great. No,
I
don't
feel like
you feel me? We're not
too.
saying the best of that era, but you feel me? In terms of my favorite, like, you know, I'ma say Pacquiao was a dog. Like Pacquiao is beating everywhere. Like, you know, actually I'm gonna go for the 2000s, I'm gonna go with Manuel Marquez. That's one of my
Shut his lights out. That was
That's
crazy
one of
too.
my favorite fighters of all time. I feel like he always gets into dog fights, but he's so smart though. It's like he gets himself into these dog fights, but I think it's like I don't know, somewhat planned. He's one of the best counter
It's
punchers.
like it's traps. It's traps.
Yeah,
It's
he's one of the best
setups.
counter punchers. You feel me? So that's kind of how his fights just go. Only fighter that made him look bad was Floyd. That was the only fighter that made him look bad.
But Floyd, bro, he just the
I
ultimate boxer.
just don't think that was a good style for him. Yeah.
Yeah, styles do make fights, and it's like his style is hard with someone that's super, super, super high in IQ, like super. That's
Floyd
like 3-4 steps ahead of you when you're a counter puncher. It's not gonna end well.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. And then for the 2010s, ooh. I like, bro, so many good fighters. Like Triple G is another underrated guy.
Super underrated. I think he'd be Canelo too.
We're gonna get into some of those controversial decisions on this.
Sure.
I definitely think he up there. Floyd, of course. I'm probably gonna go with Floyd for the 2000s. You know, he was just the money guy.
Money.
Yeah. Like, you feel me? Everything he touched was money.
Defense.
I'm gonna have to go with Floyd for the 2010s, and then for the 2020s, I'm gonna go with Shakur. That's my personal favorite fighter now. He's been my favorite fighter. He's my favorite out of the Kings now, but these Kings gotta fight. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do think he's the most talented out the group, best defensively sounded. Because they just out of reach while staying in reach, which makes him like incredibly hard to hit, but also he's gonna land on you.
Yeah.
So
he's the least hit, I believe, in boxing right now. If I'm not mistaken, am I tripping?
By CompuBox, yeah, I'm pretty sure
he's the least hit. Yeah, which is so important as far as being a boxer. You know, in these day and ages, like the skill level compared to like back in the day is not even comparable. I'm sure we can agree to that. Like it's like as far as skills and like the game has came so far.
I will say that the what's the word? The technology is better these days. The supplements are better these days. Like I would definitely give you that. I would have to say back then the mentalities were better.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree to that.
They were tougher minded, and I think that could win you a lot of fights. Like just mentally could win you a lot of fights over some of these dudes. You know, especially them dudes had to go to 15 rounds. You know, I can't just say all the fighters today will be all the fighters back then.
You got people like Marvin Hagler running in the snow talking about war. What is going on? Like, they're not on that these days.
You can't. I don't like no in the middle like being Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, they definitely mentality, but I say as far as like hitting and not getting hit, it's evolved crazy. Like
I agree with that.
Because like back in the day, it was about performing in front of people. It wasn't about hitting and not getting hit. It was about putting on a show and fighting. You know what I'm saying? You got style. Most of the styles were I'm coming at you and we fighting. Majority of the styles. And that's why you see a lot of these old boxers can't talk, slurring. Some of them die, you know what I'm saying? And Floyd kind of laid out like that new little blueprint, like, and don't get hit. And that's why everyone want to go down that route. Everybody want to make the most money. Everybody want to hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to
Mm-hmm.
fight the best. Everybody's scared to lose the O. It's like it's tremendously changed. Whereas though back in the day, it was if I lose, I lose. Okay. As long as I put on that show, I'm gonna gain that recognition from the fans, and that's gonna keep me, in the game. As long as I'm putting on a good performance, and I feel like that's where it changed. But as far as skill level, I feel like they're a little bit more skillful, in like 2025. Like you said, with the technology, food, supplements, and all that.
Yeah.
But
It's a difficult, but to
yeah,
move on, you feel me? We got Canelo versus Bud. I know you wanted to talk about this one.
yeah, this is a big fight right here for me. I've been hearing the fight of the century. I can agree. This is a big fight right here. For the people that don't know, we have Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford. They're fighting on September 13th in Las Vegas, and it's going to be streaming on Netflix. So it's going to be obtainable to everybody to watch this. So I'm advised everyone go watch this fight. For me, I believe this is the fight of the century. I
Oh
say
wow.
this. I say this because of resume wise, accomplishments, the hype. It's just so much tying into this fight. Like you got Canelo Alvarez, 2-time undisputed champ. You got Bud Crawford, 2-time undisputed champ. Not a lot of people can even say they was undisputed in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a real small number that in the four belt era, like can say like I held all the belts, and these brothers did it twice. So
Yes, sir.
that's a very big accomplishment, and they did it in I think 2 divisions. So they
Yep,
so I, I
100%.
believe Bud did it at 140 and did it at 147. I think Canelo's I know one was at 168. I'm not sure I think it was 160.
160, I believe.
Yeah, when he beat Triple G, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it that fight or
It
did
might
it
have been. It
even?
was a lot of belts because Triple G had
Okay.
a lot of the belts. Remember,
Okay.
remember Triple G was recognized as the middleweight champion of the world.
No, I understand. No,
Like
Triple G
so,
was
yeah,
the guy in
yeah.
middleweight.
So if I'm not mistaken, it was definitely that weight class. So I feel like with that and this could be the fight of the century. Like as far as height wise, now we don't know till it play out, but uh me personally, I think it's a great matchup. You got Bud, same size is Canelo, so it's not like we got a crazy height difference. It's not like we got a only really difference I see in this fight, to be honest with you, is power. Maybe a little bit size as far as thickness, pause, but I feel like it's a great matchup and it's well even. Uh, I want to get into like the breakdown of the fight though. Like, how do you see the fight like playing out and going down?
Well, to start off, I agree with you. Like this, fight of the century. That's a big fight. That's a big fight. I can't say fight of the century simply for the fact that a lot of people are saying that Canelo isn't at his necessarily best anymore, and we don't. Bud is also 37, 38, so it's hard for me to say like this would have been better than. Um, I don't know. I don't know. That's a difficult discussion. But what I will say about this fight is Canelo, we know that his most difficult 3 out of his 4 most difficult fights were with slick boxers. We got the
Okay,
Erislandy Lara fight.
very
That was a
controversial fight.
very difficult fight for Canelo.
Controversial too.
A lot of people think Canelo lost that fight,
Yeah,
or even should have been a tie, but Canelo walked away with one. Obviously, the Triple G fight was very hard,
yeah,
but Floyd Money Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol, the 2 guys that beat him, you
yeah,
know, these are guys that fight, move really well, very slick on their feet. Canelo, as we know, he's a great fighter, but he's a tad slow. He's always been. Um, he's heavy hitter, great IQ though, and great at getting to the body, and great at slowly but surely figuring you out. It's hard to figure out someone who's moving a lot of the fight and
moving
changing up
around.
his changing
Yeah,
up his movements, giving you different looks. So I think that and Bud presents, basically similar characteristics to those other fighters.
yeah,
Bud is a very great fighter and he has the power. I don't think Bud will not come out, but I do think Bud can get the UD. I think that's kind of the only way Bud wins this fight. We've never seen Canelo get knocked out before, so it's hard for me to
I
imagine him.
believe Canelo has one of the best chins in boxing.
I agree. It's
That's
hard
me.
for me to. It's hard for me to
I
think.
don't think he's never been knocked down,
He's never been knocked
and he's been
out.
in
I
there
don't
with
know if he's been knocked
some.
down.
He's been in there with some people. So I don't. I think he has one of the best, in boxing. I
I
can
agree.
agree to
You
that.
know, I think yeah, like just to piggyback off that, like, I think Terrence will. I'm not gonna say who will win the fight necessarily just yet, but I can say Canelo, I think, has a higher chance of winning by like KO or stoppage, and I
Yeah.
think that if Bud wins, it'll be by decision.
Okay.
I can't say
I can
that.
agree to that for sure. I'm like with me. I try to break it down to this. We got Canelo. He's a platter, I guess you would say. He like to sit down on a lot of his shots and flat-footed, the way they train, super flat-footed. Then you got Bud, like you said, slick boxers, gonna be moving, gonna be switching stances, moving his jab a lot. I think I believe Bud Crawford can win this fight more than people think he can. A lot of people is trying to say the weight, which I agree. Weight is a factor. They do make weight classes for a reason, but I feel like every now and then you have special boxers, and Bud is one of them special boxers that can go out weight classes like Roy Jones and Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya. It's like it's certain boxers you got to have that special little factor to you that you can go up and beat these top guys. You know what I'm saying, in that weight class, and I believe he has the capability to do that for sure. I just think but at the same time, it's just a little part of me just saying if Bud get hit though, I don't know why, because Canelo hit hard, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, right? Canelo, he's at 168 and he's the same size as Bud.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Height
Think
wise,
about
yeah.
that. Bud
I'm pretty sure
has
Bud has a
reach
longer
than-
reach. Yeah.
Bud has a longer reach. As far as size, they're the same. So, truth be told, if Canelo really had his weight under control and all, he could be making this 154 still. You know what I'm saying? But he feels more comfortable at this weight, and that's what's just making me I don't know. I always go with the person with the best skills, and I feel like Bud has the more skills, but it's like we've never seen you hit by someone like this.
Yeah.
So we don't know how you gonna.
Which is
we don't know. We don't know. We really don't. This is why I'm saying this is the fight of the century, because it could go either way here. You know what I'm saying? We can see Bud beautifully boxing Canelo how Floyd did. We can see that.
I can see that.
But at the same time, we can see Canelo stopping him
flooring him like American type John. Yeah.
Just a 1-2, boom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I feel like this is why so much hype behind it, because we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, the odds is only plus 200 for Bud.
Yeah, the odd makers are giving him a pretty good shot, and I'll give him a good shot too. Like you said, I think without a little inactivity, he would be the pretty much the pound for pound best fighter in the world.
I mean,
in a way, Usyk, those are only two guys who you could really argue over him, but no one else besides them.
Yeah.
And
top three for sure. For sure.
Yeah, top three for sure. And it's really only because of inactivity. 2 fights in the past 3 years, essentially. If he basically upped that more, he could easily still be number one. But I have a quick question for you. I think the other interesting about this fight is I think this fight kind of settles kind of who is that number two, even number one in some eyes of this era.
A lot of people eyes.
A lot of people are gonna say Floyd is the best of the past 15 years, but okay, who's next? You got Canelo, you got Bud. These gonna be the two. You got Triple G. Triple G might not be there because they say Canelo beat him twice, but basically it's gonna come down to Manny, Floyd, Bud, and Canelo. This fight is gonna be huge in terms of the ranking.
Yeah, and I feel like whoever wins this fight, it catapults them tremendously. You got a guy like Bud. Let's just say he beats Canelo. He goes up 2-3 weight classes, how many weight classes it is, and beats Canelo Alvarez, who beat all these other people. So in a sense, Bud went up in a weight class, beat the top guy in that weight class, and beat the guy that beat all these guys. So it's it just catapults you, and then it goes vice versa. You got you got Canelo, you know what I'm saying, who beats this guy who's a two-time who beat Earl, who beat you know, all these Jeff Horn, all these other people. It's like it's the same thing. I just feel like Bud will get a little bit more credit though because he's going up
I agree.
compared to Canelo, which is this is his weight class. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. I think if Canelo wins, is gonna the conversation will turn more into, you know, Bud shouldn't have tried to do too
yeah,
much. You
he
know,
was too little. He was too little.
Bud shouldn't have tried to do that. That
Yeah.
was too big of a weight jump for him. I'm pretty sure that's what the convo will turn into. But I love when fighters and people in general dare to be great. This is another thing that Bud loves to do. Bud has that retro mentality, that old style mentality. You know, I'm a dog. I'm really here for everything. I'm coming for everything. And I could really see that, and that's why I think he's one of those fighters who could fit in any era. I think you can drop him in the 70s, the 90s, and obviously we see what he's doing now. So I think that this is going to be one of the best fights of all time. You're definitely right about that.
For sure. Also, to get into something else, just to tag off, I'll probably be doing like a live stream to this fight. I'll probably be doing like a live reaction that I'm gonna throw up or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna be able to record the fight or something like that. They probably, you know, take it down or something like that. But live reaction wise though, I'm gonna probably do a live reaction to this fight. It's gonna be on Netflix, so it's obtainable. If you got Netflix, I mean, go watch the fight. I mean, I'm sure everybody gonna be tapped in, but I'm gonna do a live reaction. You know, breaking down the fights every round by round, who won the round and stuff. So y'all want to check that out? Bullshit. September 13th, the fight will be going on. So stay tuned to that. But another little topic I wanted to talk about was this Devin Haney situation. It's Devin Haney in general. Like, there's so much going around Devin Haney right now. Can I get some thoughts on? I know this is a little bit in the past. Just give me a little thoughts on the whole Devin and Ryan thing. Like, what? Like, yeah. This whole Devin and Ryan thing, it's going so many ways. We got Devin was supposed to beat this guy, and Ryan's supposed to beat this guy, and these guys meet, and the whole time it's not even happening. Now, I don't even know what's going on with Devin Haney in general, but just give me your take on Devin Haney in general right now in the boxing world. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is a weird situation right now, and to be honest, Devin is one of my favorite fighters. He's one I could legitimately say I actually like to watch Devin fight. I think at 135, you know, we're gonna remember Devin's time at 135. Mind you, he wasn't even 26, 25. Like
18.
This dude was lightweight for a long time. He attained undisputed, like you said, something that is really hard to do. So you know, I think he deserves probably more credit than he deserves now. You know, goes to 140, fights Regis Prograis, puts on one of the best performances you'll ever see. And next up was Ryan. You know, Ryan coming off the Tink loss, was basically, I'm not gonna say looking for a bounce back because you know we're not mad at him losing for Tink, but like he was trying to come back and say, "Yo, I'm actually here on the stage." And Ryan for taking the fight. Obviously, they have history in the amateur, so it's history there. Now, my whole thing is, you know, I'm not gonna say Ryan admitted to, you know, partying, drugs, all the 1-2 before the Devin fight, and
crazy lead up.
You know, he was 4 pounds overweight. I think that
drinking a beer on scale, like what is going
you feel
on?
Me? It was crazy, and obviously later to find out that he was also on a steroid. So I think, you know, it was a crazy situation. What happened. You know, I don't hold that fight too much in regard, especially nowadays after what Ryan just happened. What with Ryan just happened, considering he didn't have the steroid and he looked like that.
Yeah,
that has to show me something. That tells me something.
PEDs is cheating. It's cheating.
Just to finish, like, I think Devin Haney is still a good fighter, one of the best, and you know I can't wait to see what he does next. But we'll get into that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think I feel for Devin in this situation a little bit. Not gonna lie to you. I don't think Devin is the most talented out of the 4 Kings, but I think he's the most accomplished in my opinion. Out of as far as fights, belts, resumes, I believe he's the most talented and he did the most so far. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Things could mix up a little bit, but that undisputed is a big already, you know, big little
yes, sir.
Only person out of the 4 Kings is Tio that got that, to be honest. Yes, sir. So Devin out of the 4 Kings, for him not to be the
It
most
might be
technical,
like 5 kings,
yeah.
6 kings.
Well, at this point,
For real.
but out of all of them, he's the most accomplished. So for him to go through that and have to, get beat the way he did by a guy on PEDs is crazy. And people are like making fun of Devin too. Like they like, oh, you got beat up by Ryan. The guy was on PEDs.
And
I
just
like,
to put some into it, like what's crazy is by round 6, I had him still up on the cards.
yeah,
So
people
obviously
as far as the knockdown,
Ryan took over in the second half of the fight, but Devin was putting up a pretty good fight. Like I don't know
yeah,
why we just making it seem like Ryan routed him. He ain't getting
yeah,
no rounds. That's
yeah.
not what happened.
Devin
Haney
jab
put
was
up
working good.
a solid fight, and
Yeah,
he just went against a PED fighter,
yeah.
which that usually never goes great for you. But he didn't quit. He
He
went
kept
all
getting
12
up. He
rounds.
kept getting up.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
gotta respect it.
He could have easily looked at his dad and gave him that look. And I'm sure he's been with his dad for a while, so I'm sure his dad knows when he's good or he's not good. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel for him in that situation, and I believe that fight definitely should have been taken off, 100%. Definitely should have been taken off the record. But I do want to see the rematch, but I want to see it on an equal playing field. Me personally, I think that's one of the biggest fights that's gonna ever happen this whole entire. If it happens this year, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a crazy. It's gonna be like if you remember Miguel Cotto, he fought Margarito, and apparently he had
The
plaster.
rematch,
He had
yeah.
plaster in the first fight, and he
Yep.
stopped. He stepped Miguel, and I don't. Puerto Rico fighters very prideful fighters, so they lose. But after that came out, Miguel was like, "Yo, I gotta get my lick back." I don't care what weight I gotta go to, as long as you can make the weight that we sign up for, we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And what the Miguel do, he can't even stop them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what Devin needs to do to get his respect back. He comes back, he stops Ryan Garcia. We won't even be probably talking about Devin in this way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a must right now. That's a must
Okay.
for Devin. He has to come back. I mean, they said you're only good at your last fight. I didn't like his last performance.
Okay.
So I just feel as though if Devin can come back and he can beat Ryan Garcia, that'll be a great thing for him, for sure. Also, apparently Devin was supposed to fight Tiafimo. I don't even know how that played out. Apparently Tiafimo wound up pulling out or something like that. I would love to see that fight. Devin and Tiafimo, the two most accomplished out of all the 6'5", whatever kings you want to call it.
Yeah.
That'll be a beautiful fight. I like the styles, but I don't want to see a little running thing that Devin like. I mean, I feel like he was boxing beautifully, but he got to get some more shots off. Like you can move around like that. We had Floyd box like that, but you'll see Floyd engage more. He'll pick his spots.
Yeah.
He'll break you down, get his shots off, look good while he's doing it, and get out of there. Get back to moving.
I think with Devin now is very tactical of him.
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't going. I think he knew going into that fight he wasn't gonna put on. Excuse me, y'all. But finish what you were saying, bro. I can hear you.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be a beautiful matchup. I think Devin versus T.O. is one of the best right now, like fights going on. Apparently T.O. is trying to pursue Boots. Boots is his mindset was the belts, but I did just see a post, not a post on some feed that Boots is leaving 147. He's going to 154. So the boxing world is all over the place, right? I don't know what's going on. This is everything's everywhere. We got T.O. trying to fight Boots. Boots said he's trying to get the belts. Now he's going to 154. Apparently Devin was supposed to fight T.O. and then that got called off. So I don't even know where it's at, but I would like to see these fights. Like it's really a bad place to be as a fan because we deserve. I feel like we paying that money, man. Y'all got to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? This is what y'all sign up for, and all the greats go through this. All the greats put on good performances for the fans, and that is exactly why David Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters right now. He's not afraid to fight people for his fans. Like he knows, oh, I can't get this Canelo fight. I'm gonna fight the most dangerous person in his division, David Morrell, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because he been calling me out. I'm gonna do it because my fans want to see a good fight. So if we start getting more of that, I feel like boxing will be back where it need to be again. I feel like it's like people keep saying, you know, sometimes I catch myself saying that people be like, yeah, boxing is not where it need to be, but as long as these fighters is fighting each other and fighting the best, and the best is fighting the best, we shouldn't complain. You know what I'm saying? So if we can start seeing that, I feel like boxing will definitely take a big change and turnaround. But as far as Devin and TL, we definitely need to see that before the career
Nah,
is over. We have to see that. We have to.
I 100% agree. You know, I think with boxing right now, the biggest thing is we're not seeing the biggest names fight the biggest names. You know, that will right there, you know, that would just bring way more excitement to the boxing community, and even the casual fans. You know, people who don't know boxing too much, they know who Devin Haney is, they know who Tank is, they know who Shakur is, they know who Tank is. So, like, if we could just see some of those, you know, heavyweight matchups, those would be amazing for boxing and like not just the community, but you know, the real boxing fans as well.
And
But
I feel like we have to. It's like it's a necessity. This is not up for question, bro. We had to see these fights. Me personally, if I don't see these fights, man, I'm gonna feel away. I swear I'm gonna feel away, bro. Four Kings, man, they were set up. They were set up. This is their whole careers have been leading up to this, though. If you think about it, as far as going to the amateur systems and seeing each other in the amateurs, some of them actually train together. Shakur, Tank, who else? Ryan Garcia fought Devin in the amateurs plenty of times. Like all these fighters need to fight each other, and it starts with them. You know, apparently it's all about the bag, which I believe everybody deserves to get paid. You put your life on the line, you should be compensated well. But now we have Turkey Ali Sheik, and it's like he'll give you a number, and people will still say no. So it's like, what is it at this point? Is it are we scared? I know we're not scared because we boxers. Does it have to do with our career? Do we not want to make bad career decisions? I don't know what it is, but we got to push out this narrative of fighting the best.
you know, I also think one thing about this era that, you know, like you said, you could argue a little more talented, a little more skilled, but I think that social media is playing a big factor. You know, these dudes are looking at what the people are saying, and it's way more accessible to them to see what the negative people are saying, good or bad positivity. So, you know, maybe some of the stuff they see on social media get to some of these boxers' head. They think they better than what they are, you know, or just getting their head piped up, one of them social media stars, and you know how those usually turn out. They usually get run to the ground pretty fast. Or you got, you know, these fighters who's getting too much hate, or they know potentially what hate they could get if they lose to a good fighter or lose to a style of fighter. So I think these dudes just scared to take the risk, and that's kind of the biggest thing with boxing right now.
Yeah.
Floyd, like I said, Floyd set up the plan, you know, try to stay undefeated, and that's how you get the most love. So even
Yeah.
though Floyd was hated, but once
Yeah.
you lose that, oh, for some reason people think it's over.
Devalue you. You get devalued.
But
Yeah.
I don't agree with that though. I don't
I don't even.
understand that. I really don't understand that. You know, it's about how you lost and how you bounce back as well. You know.
Think about it though, bro. Like, as far as the exception of Floyd Mayweather, right? Who has a O? Like, think about it. Roy Jones, Muhammad Ali, Bernard
Yeah.
Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Pernell. What? Like, everybody is lost.
Yeah.
Like, it's so James Toney. Like, everybody has lost. Miguel Cotto. It's not about how you. It's how you bounce back after you lost and put things together. You know, every now and then you lose, bro. You know, that's a part of boxing. You know, it is very super small exceptions. You know, we got the Andre Ward, Wards, we got Floyd Mayweather, we got a small, slim amount of people, but it's just I guess this is a it's a ever since Floyd did it, I guess it's just a narrative now. If you lose this,
Yeah.
oh, your career is over, which is false. We've seen plenty of fighters bounce back at the losses, and it's just crazy. Boxing is all over the place. And speaking of crazy, I wanted to talk about something before we get off here. So, KEYSHAWN Davis, man. We gotta talk about this guy. KEYSHAWN Davis is actually one of my favorite fighters. But
Right.
after that incident, man, in Norfolk, that was crazy. That was crazy. Like, to be honest with you, I'm real into that. I watch the YouTube vids, I watch the training vids, and bro saying I'm in the best shape of my life. Ooh, and we come over 4 pounds over, which is cool. You know, boxing happens. We have plenty of fighters come over. Adrian Broner did it a
Yeah.
lot. You know, we got Tank did it before. It's plenty of fighters that, you know, haven't made weight. But instead of doing that and just going to the fight and supporting your, we out here getting the altercations after your brother loses fair and square. I'm not a fan of that. That's like chump behavior. Like, and he's one of my favorite fighters, but I ain't like that. That was kind of like some cornball like stuff. I'm gonna give it a bean. Nair Albright, great fighter. I've been following him up for a while now. Very like slick, low key boxer. You know how it is coming up as a boxer in Philly, like especially when you don't got that known, when you're not really known, and you're not on that top level.
Yep.
You know, people gonna overlook you. And I feel like Nair had a great game plan going into the fight against his brother Kelvin Davis. If people don't know who his brother is, we fought.
Philly fighters always got that dog.
Yeah, like one thing about Nair, he might not be the most skilled, he might not be the fastest, he might not hit the hardest, but he got to go out on his shield, like, you know, and he's not afraid to. He's not afraid to go out on his shield, and that's what won him that fight. Like, they was trying to bully Nair. Nair, he like a chill guy. He's actually an R&B singer. People don't know. He's an R&B singer, bro. Like, he just got beat up by an R&B singer. Like, this is crazy. Why you mad? Like, this is crazy. Like, if I get beat by an R&B singer, I'm gonna feel away, but I'm not gonna starting altercations. Like, I lost in the ring. Like, you know, you lost in the ring fair and square. Like, and I respect Kelvin because he the one that came out out of all the brothers, and he was like, yeah, I apologize for everything that's going on. But they were saying they still didn't jump him. Well, he was walking around with a welt, you know, on his forehead. So that was kind of crazy to me, seeing that. And I just think that was cornball activity by KEYSHAWN and Keon. And I like DB3. That's they team.
I like that. Yeah, I like them.
I like DB3. Like, I like what they doing and all that, you know. Especially, you know, brothers, I want to see us win. So I just feel like that was some cornball activity. And I think he was kind of just a little upset because he didn't get that fight. I think
I agree.
That after he didn't make that weight, it was just like he started feeling away. Like, this is supposed to be you know, this is you, bro. This is you supposed to be the main event. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be the main event. And you can't even do that because you can't make weight, you know. So I feel like it was a crazy situation as far as jumping, not making weight. KEYSHAWN is all over the place right now, man. You gotta get it together. Let me get take on it though, bro.
Yeah, I mean, quick take. I just believe that, like you said, it just gotta. I was corny. It was corny to mix afterwards, like, and you know, I seen the weigh in. He assumed that bro was still gonna take the fight too.
Yeah,
that was funny too.
Like
he was like,
that was crazy.
3-4 pounds overweight. Yeah,
he said, I'm sure he's gonna take the fight.
Yeah, like
no, still got his cheese and all that. I was like, yo, this is the crazy.
You feel me? But I just found that funny. Yeah, like we just seen what happened with Haney, and people don't like Haney after he took a fight 3-4 pounds over. You feel me? So I can see that, you know, and I'm not mad at the other fighter, and I just believe KEYSHAWN 140. It's time to take over. I mean, shoot now, and no, the really thing I care about is now it's a vacant belt at lightweight. Who's gonna unify?
Oh, well, they just ordered it with Abdullah Mason and some other guy. I forgot his name.
Really?
Yeah, but they're about to fight for it. Yeah, Abdullah Mason. So they made it a mandatory. We got Abdullah Mason versus, I forgot what his other guy is, but he like number 3 in the WB whatever the belt is. Yeah, he's like 3 or 4 or something like that. But they ordered the fight for it. I just seen it actually. So we're gonna see that. I mean, even though KEYSHAWN didn't wind up being there, but we did have somebody, which is Abdullah Mason. I'm sure some people on here know who Abdullah Mason is.
Yep.
One of the highest, best, top rising prospects in boxing to some people, according to Top Rank. Great fighter. Can't wait to see what he do. I feel like he's a special talent, but we're gonna have to see. It's, you know, it's still kind of early for him, so we can't really say.
Yeah,
once we see him get on that level, we'll find out.
No, I think not to, you know, toot his own horn, but I think he is one of them dudes that we're gonna have to look out for. I think if it's not this fight, eventually he will be a champion. Like, I don't think like this dude is going anywhere.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Honestly, you know, I think KEYSHAWN is one of the best fighters, but a fight with him and Abdullah Mason, I think that's a solid matchup for KEYSHAWN.
I think it's early for Abdullah right now for that. I think a little too early. It's a little too like.
No, I think it's a collision course coming to happen, but I think their styles
in time
in a crazy fight. Like
great fight.
Make for something explosive. Mm-hmm. Like that might be like Tommy versus Marvin, not to guess to that extent, but like that's gonna be haymakers thrown, Feel me? Dudes trying to get them out of here, but still so much skill.
A lot of skill going on, a lot of skill, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of uppercuts, a lot of body work. I could see that fight playing out. Both of them guys is top level guys, so I definitely want to see that. I just feel like right now, I want to see Abdullah get a belt before he start fighting these other guys. You know, I feel like I just, you know, we seen him in the fire. You know, with people that got power. I mean, he responded well, but we seen that he can be touched. You know, he got twice in a fight. Twice, not once, twice. So we seen like when he gets overconfident, he makes mistakes. So I could see him being up on a fighter because he's so skillful, like we said, and I could see him making that mistake because when you get on this top level, these are top level fighters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might see you getting overconfident and they might set you up, put you in a trap. Next thing you know, they got you overcommit, boom, down. Now you one shot down. You know, and you know in boxing, all it takes is one shot. So
all it takes, yep.
So we're gonna have to see. I'm looking forward to it though. Definitely on the uprising. But
this was an amazing episode for episode 1.
This is a good little John though. Again, guys, subscribe, send it to your friend, whatever. If you want, you know, the latest boxing reviews, content, whatever it may be, anything revolving around boxing, we gonna push it out, try to talk to you guys. Like I said, this ain't something we looking for views, you know. This is more so like a passion. We like boxing, so yes, y'all like boxing, y'all want support, man, come tap in with us, you know. Anything
else, man? Like you said, man, make sure y'all subscribe to us on YouTube. We're gonna be making Instagram, TikTok clips are gonna be coming soon just to keep y'all short form content. We're also gonna be on X as well. I think this is gonna be fun. Like I can't wait for this. The rest of this year, I think a lot of good fights are coming up. I think 2026 has a lot of potential to be one of the better years as well. You know, so I think, you know, boxing took a slump, but I think 2023 and 2024 kind of bring it back a little bit, just in terms of some of these, like we said, the 5 kings, 6 kings, they've been fighting, and the fights have been exciting. So I can't wait to, you know, see what we do with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great year, man. Y'all gonna see us a lot in July though. That's a big boxing month for us. So July, you'll be getting a lot of content. Just stay on the lookout. We're gonna post our next little thing or a little snippet, whatever it may be. We're gonna post with our next little coming out. Just make sure y'all stay tuned, subscribe, all that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all guys for tapping in, and see y'all next time. All right.
Yep.